Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica. I'm on staff with OC Habitats, and today I'm here with one of our active volunteers, Alyssa Mahony. Alyssa, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, how'd you get involved with OC Habitats? What do you study at school?
I just recently graduated with my bachelor's in environmental science from Vanguard University, and I actually found OC Habitats through school.
How long have you been with OC Habitats?
So I've been with them since like March of 2022, so a
Mhm.
little bit over a year now. And I think I found it just through having like a guest speaker come to one of our classes, and he just like shared a list of volunteer organizations. And at the time, I was just looking for somewhere to volunteer, and OC Habitat was on that list. So that's how I found.
And what drew you to OC Habitats specifically?
Well, I just like the whole idea of like, because I'm from Orange County, so I like that they mostly focus in Orange County, and I like the restoration side of everything and how they mostly focus on wetlands and everything like that.
Cool. Was there one moment in your life or a few that made you realize you wanted to go into an environmental field?
So growing up, I was always like really into animals, and I always said, "Oh, I want to be a vet." And I was always like living outside. And when I went to high school, I hadn't realized like exactly what I wanted to do with my life yet until I
Mhm.
took AP Environmental Science. And I hadn't like realized how drastic the like problems we're facing right now are. And so it was through that I was like, I realized that a lot of you can help animals and wildlife through different means than just being like a vet or something classic like that. So that's how I kind of got into the environmental field.
Oh, cool. Is that what you're hoping to do moving forward? Is something in the wildlife sector?
Yeah, I want to go into, or hopefully go into wildlife conservation of some sort. I'm not sure exactly how or where, but that's what the goal is.
That's cool. Was there someone that influenced you in your environmental activism?
I don't think there was like a specific, like one specific person. I think it was mostly just being around like my teachers and professors.
Mhm.
And like I was lucky to have like a really good professor who would like have invite guest speakers who did like great work and have them come talk to us. And that was just the ways that they would talk about their organizations and the work that they're doing in the field was really inspirational. And that's definitely something that's kept me going, especially just being around and surrounded by passionate individuals.
Mhm. That's cool. And can you tell me a little bit about what you do specifically with OC Habitats? I know you mentioned you really enjoyed the restoration side of it. So what are some of your some of the things you've done or like maybe your favorite restoration project you worked on?
So usually I help in the restoration with the Huntington Beach Wetlands Conservancies. I that's where I mostly started, and I usually go there because it's the closest to where I live. And I think I just enjoy that one because it's somewhere that I didn't even realize like existed. And I had been going to Huntington Beach like since I was growing up, and I never realized that there's wetlands right there.
Mhm.
So I think that was just my favorite part of it, and also just being able to learn about the native plants and invasive species that are there, and just helping with like plant removal and that kind of thing.
Cool. I had this a similar thing where I didn't even realize those wetlands were there. I thought the Bolsa Chica wetlands were like the Huntington Beach wetlands. So
Yeah,
that was cool for me too. And aside from OC Habitats, how do you engage in environmental activism in other parts of your life?
so did have an internship with OC Coastkeeper for a little while, and I was helping them with their beach cleanups mostly, as well as like MPA watch. And that ended, but now like in my own personal life, I try and like reduce my waste and just move towards like more sustainable options. And I also just try and like get my mom to, like she loves gardening. So I try and get her like, oh, you should plant this native plant instead of like the other plants that they have. And just I think also just keeping myself educated on what's like current and the current state of the earth as a
Mhm.
whole, because I think that's like the most important thing, just to keep yourself educated.
Yeah, I would agree. And then last question, if you were to be queen of the world and you could do anything to protect the planet, what would you do?
Um, I think if I were the queen of the world, I would just focus on like habitat restoration in general, because I
Mhm.
know like there's habitats is very important habitats being deforested all the time. And I think that's just something that would be important to like get a stop on and just work towards keeping what we have left there and working towards restoring what we used to have.
Mhm.
And also just like implementing better ways of using our energy and just encouraging people to live in like rather than just being like, oh, we have to live like either the humans have to live here or the wildlife has to live here, like finding a way to cohabitation with like wildlife and humans is important. And so I think that's something that would be important to implement as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's all the questions I have for you, but thank you so much for hopping onto this interview. And
Yeah, no problem.
yeah, have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Right. Bye.
Bye.